Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is part 10 for the step-by-step guide to learn Angular. So if you are directly coming to this video, I will recommend you to watch previous video first and then you can come to this video. So in this complete video series, we are going to cover all this topic and in the previous video, we added a form validation on our registration page and we covered template driven form and form validation in the previous video. So this video is continued to that validation and this is our application which we are going to develop in this complete video series. So let's open our registration form. So this is our registration form we previously created and we added some required field validation like if I'm entering my name and if I'm removing and coming. So this said red color smiley is coming if I'm adding my name again. So we are getting this yellow happy smiley and we don't have any validation on last name and I am going to add some invalid email. So I can see this red smiley and let's make it correct and now I can see this yellow uh, smiley and we added validation for required field validation for our password and confirm password field. So now we can see these both the yellow smiley and our registration button is enabled. But we are not matching this password and confirm password. I can enter anything here and I can enter something else here and still my button is enabled and I am not seeing any red color smiley here. So in this video, we are going to add validation for our password and confirm password. So let's start. Open our application in Visual Code. So this is our application and to add that custom validation on password and confirm password field, I am going to create one directive. So I am going to use Angular CLI. So as you know, to create a directive, we can write a command similar to as we added for component. So where I'm going to create the directive, I'm going to create the directive under the register folder. So let's change our command prompt path now. So it should be cd then src slash app slash account and under that we are having register. So now what I'm going to do it, I'm going to generate our directive. So syntax for that is ng then g for generate d for directive and what I'm going to do is this is my custom field validator directive. So this directive its job is to validate two fields and return the result. So I am giving name is custom then field validate. So and I'm going to keep the structure as a flat and enter. So it's created successfully. So let's open our directive and we can see this directive decorator on top of the class. So similar to that, when we generated our component, we were having component decorator. So if it is a directive, so we should have this directive decorator. Now this directive is for validations. So I am going to implement one validation class here. So implements, we can see this validator. So it's a part of Angular form and I can see error. So this is for implementation. We need to implement this interface methods. So I can use that Visual Code quick fix here and let's implement it. And I'm not going to use this method, so I'm going to remove this. And for this validation, we are going to use this validate method. So this is a step one, but how Angular will know like this is a validation directive. So for that we need to add in the providers This is our provider array, and under that we need to provide, we have to use this ng validator class here, and this is a pre-existing class, so we need to register our validator under this. So what I'm going to say, use class. So I'm going to use our directive class here, and what I'm saying is you can see this multi. So I am saying it's true, so it's allow me to create a multiple instance. So now we have registered our custom directive to ng validators. Now next, let's add this attributes to our form. So copy this and open our registration form, and I'm going to paste it in the form tag. So we have added our directive attributes to our form. So now let's add validation. So first I'm going to change this abstract control to form group. So this abstract control is a base class for all the controls. So I'm going to change it to form group class, and now let's change this control to form, and let's see. What I want is, if my confirm password or password field is null, then I want to return null from my method. So let's check this. Form dot controls dot, we can copy name from here. So in our HTML, this is our password field, so let's copy and paste it here. So what I'm saying it, if not password, or let's copy and paste this statement again, and let's go to confirm password and copy this reference variable and paste it here. So I'm saying when any of this is null, then I want to return null from my validation. Now one more validation I want, if any of these controls having any other errors, then also I want to return null from here. So let's check this. So copy this and paste it here, and change this to errors, and remove this not. Then also I want to return null. So what I want is, if already having if both of the controls are already having any errors, so I don't want to return any error from my directive. I am returning null here. Now let's add our validation. So our validation is, if form dot controls dot password dot value not equals to form dot controls dot confirm password dot value. So let's copy this, and so then I want to return error from my directive. So return type of this is, the method is validation error. So let's open this. So we can see that it's we have to return the key and any return type for this. So let's return I am giving keys compare field validator, and I am saying it's true. Now last thing which I am going to do is, if this condition it doesn't match and if both the fields are equal, I am going to clear the errors for this custom field validators. So first let's check if control is having error or not. So for that I can use one method that's a has error, and in the has error I am going to give this compare field validator, and if it is having this error, so I'm going to clear it. So how I can clear, so let's see. I'm going to delete from errors. Which error I want to delete? This compare field validator. So let's give this, and similar to that what I'm going to do for confirm password. So let's quickly copy this and paste it, and now change this to confirm password. So yeah, and here what I'm, instead of throwing this, I'm going to return null here. If validation is true, then I'm going to return null. So let's save this, and now let's run our application. So here in the Angular hello Angular path, I run this command ngserve and it's compiled successfully. So let's open our application, and let's go to register, and let's enter the values for first name. Let's enter for value for last name. Let's give some email, and let's in the password I'm giving 1 2 3 4 5, and in the confirm password I'm giving 5 4 3 2 1. And if I am coming out from the text box, I'm clicking somewhere else. So now I can see both the smiley text box having yellow smiley, but it should have red smiley because I entered different password. But my register button is still disabled. So why my button is disabled, but I can see this yellow smiley instead of red? Let's see in the code. So open the HTML, and let's see first this registration button. So here what I'm saying is, if my form is invalid, disable my button. So due to our validation directive, my button is disabled, but we did not edit any condition for our password and confirm password to show the smiley. So let's open directive again, and let's add some code here. So form.control.password dot set errors. This is also accepting this validation errors. So I'm going to copy and paste it, and let's copy this entire line again and paste it here, and now change this to confirm password. So let's copy this and paste it, and now save our code. It's compiled successfully, and now let's go back to browser. So now I'm giving 1 2 3 4 5, and here I'm giving 5 4 3 2 1, and I'm going out of the text box so I can see this red smiley. So now our both the text box is working fine, but it's not user friendly. I don't know what error it is. So this time I'm going to show the message below the text box. So let's add that condition in our HTML. So this is our password HTML. So here I'm going to add one span tag, and I'm going to give a message like field doesn't match. Okay, and when I want to show it, so I am going to copy this. So when the password is touched and password is invalid, but I don't want to show it always, right? So when we are having that our directive error, this custom compare field validator error. So let's copy this, and I'm going to do is password dot errors, and let's make it nullable and check for compare field validator. So if we are having error for compare field validator, then only we are going to show this message. Now let's copy this and paste it for confirm password. So here my confirm password, so let's paste it here and change the reference variable accordingly. So that's a confirm password, so it should be confirm password dot test. Confirm password is invalid, and confirm password having errors for compare field validator. So let's save this, and let's add one bootstrap class to show our font in the red color. So let's add this text ginger class for confirm password and for password as well. Save it again, and now after compiled successful, we can verify our changes in the browser. So now I am giving my name first name, giving last name as Dubey, and I am giving email is dubeytapan12@gmail.com, and now I'm giving password is a 1 2 3 4 5, and so we can see now field doesn't match error, and now I'm going to give is 5 4 3 2 1. So I can see this message here, and now let's make it correct. So and give 3 4 5, so it's 1 2 3 4 5. So now its field is valid, and now error is gone, but still I can see this red smiley on the password. So what's wrong? Let's see our code. So in the code, when we are deleting this key, we need to set the errors to null for both the fields to fix the that issue. So let's copy this code and paste it here, and I'm going to use set errors method, and I'm going to set it with the null value. So now save this and copy this again and paste it for confirm password. Copy this confirm password from here and paste it here, and okay, so I missed this control, so let's add this control and remove this password and save this. So now let's open the browser and check again. So let's quickly add the record. So 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1, and click outside of the text box, I can see error. Now let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, now error is gone and both the smile is also looking correct. But still, I see one issue here. I can show you. So if I'm not entering anything, still I'm seeing field doesn't match error. But I should not see this because this is a required field and I should see only red smiley for that. So let's fix this also. So here I'm going to change if we are having other than this custom field validator error. So we will not move to the next line and we will return null. So for that I am going to you add the code object dot keys and let's iterate with the all errors and I'm going to filter it and I'm going to check if key not equals to our custom field validator means it is having any other error like required. And now let's change this to R and let's copy this and paste it here, add this here and I'm going to add this dot length greater than 0. So if you are having any other error other than compare field validator, so we are returning null here. And one more thing, this error is a nullable property, so it may come null, and when it is null, then this code will throw error. So to fix that, what I am going to add is when it is null, I am going to add a empty array here. So if it is null, then add a empty array here, so it will prevent that error. Okay. So now let's save and open the browser and I'm going to hit Tapan, Dubey, my email, and now start typing. So if you remember when we are starting to add text on our password field, we were getting the message for compare field. So now we should not get this. So let's add this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I am not getting there. Now let's change it to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I am getting this field doesn't match error. I am clicking outside, so I'm getting it. Okay. Now I'm going to remove this field. So now I am getting a error only for required field. I am not getting any message here. Now let's add a correct message. So now everything is looking correct. But if we see our directory name is custom field validate directive. So it's not like a password, confirm password, validate directive. It can be global and it can compare anything. But what we did is we hard coded our password and confirm password. So which is not a correct way. So this directive should have a single responsibility and I should get this password and confirm password from my HTML from my form from where I'm using it. So for that I'm going to use input here. So for this input keyword is used to get information in the values in the child component. So we will go through this in the upcoming session when we will discuss about component communication and also when we will go for container and presentation component. So now if you don't understand, don't worry. So I am going to give name is first field, and this is a type of a string. Now add in the import statement, and now going let's copy this, and I'm going to change it to second field. So let's save this. Now we have added this input property here, but we have to use this for our controls. So I can change this password to something like this, and I can add this field here, first field. So it should be this dot first field, right? So now let's replace this confirm control dot password with this. So let's copy this control dot password, control plus C, and then I'm going to click control, then F key. So I'm getting this window, then click here, then I'm going to replace this control dot password with our control dot this first field. Okay, so let's copy it here and paste it here, and now let's start replacing. So now we can see no result, so we replaced it. Now let's quickly replace our control dot confirm password. So I'm going to replace with the second field. So let's replace this. Yeah, so now we have replaced it too. So now we have removed this hard-coded password and confirm password from our directive. So our directive is looking more generic, but we need to pass these values right from our HTML. So let's change this code. So open our HTML, open our form tag, and let's see where is our form. Yeah, so it's here. So here I'm going to add this input property. So which is first input property? This one. So let's copy this, and we have to add it here. And let's go back, and I'm going to add second field. And what I'm going to pass it here, reference variable for our password and confirm password. So what is the reference variable for password? Let's see. Reference variable for password is password. So let's copy this and paste it here. And we need to give reference variable for confirm password. So let's come back and see what is a reference variable for confirm password. So it's a confirm password. So let's copy and paste it here. And data type for our input field is string. So let's change this to a string, and confirm password also. Now save this and open the browser. Now I should see same as it was working earlier. So let's say it first name, now last name, email, and I'm going to enter 1 2 3 4 5 in the password. Let's go back to confirm password. I'm going to enter 5 4 3 2 1, and let's move outside. So still our validation is not working. So there is something wrong in the code. So let's see this. So this is our directive. So we added this input correctly, and all this code are looking correct, but still our validation is not working. So yeah, so I can see this we used here use class, but we should use here use existing. So the difference between the use class and use existing is that, so for use class, Angular resolve the dependency from parameter array and then calls the constructor with the parameter, while for the use existing, Angular gets existing resolved instance and return it. So that is a difference. So we will get existing instance when we will use existing. So now let's save this and go back, enter the value again, 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. So yeah, now our validation is working, and now I am going to add correct 1 2 3 4 5. So yeah, so now our form is valid. Yeah, so these are the some interview questions you may get in the interview. So I hope you will be able to answer this by watching this video. And in the next video, I am going to add a validation for our email. If email is already exist, we are going to show some message for that. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.